do our bodies work? When I grow up, I want to be a doctor. Now, this is the place where I learn about all the things that are inside of us. First aid. First aid is the help that a hurt or a sick person gets right away. Now, one day I fell and I cut my arm, and my mom gave me first aid. She cleaned the cut out and she put a bandage on it. She used a first aid kit. Now, that's a box with bandages and medicines in it. There's a big red cross on the box, and there's a cross just like it on the nurse's office at school. Now, that red cross means you could get first aid there. Teeth. Teeth are the hard white things inside your mouth. Now you chew your food with them. Everybody gets 2 sets of teeth during their lifetime. Your first set grows in when you're still a baby. Now baby teeth start falling out when you're about 6 or 7 years old. A new tooth grows in when each baby tooth falls out. You keep getting new teeth until you're 18 or 19 years old. See, I'm getting a new tooth back here. See? X-ray. An X-ray is a picture of the inside of something. Now, doctors take X-rays to look at the bones and other things inside someone's body. My brother fell out of a tree once, and the doctor X-rayed his arm. He wanted to see if the bone was broken or not. Lucky for him, it wasn't. Medicine. There are good drugs and then there are bad drugs. Now, a good drug is a medicine a doctor gives to a person. It might be a pill or something to drink. The medicine helps make a sick person feel much better. That kind of drug is definitely a good drug. But then there's another kind of drug that is very bad. Now, this kind of drug isn't a medicine and it does not come from a doctor. Bad drugs hurt people and make them very sick. So be sure you never take any of these bad drugs. A wheelchair. A wheelchair is a chair with wheels. My cousin Sarah uses a wheelchair. She can't walk right because the muscles in her legs don't work. She's fun, and she's smart, and she's my best friend. People in wheelchairs are just like you and me, except they wheel around instead of walk around. Glasses. Glasses are a tool that people wear in front of their eyes. They help us to see better. Now, glasses used to be made of glass, and that's how they got their name. But now, most of them are made of clear, lightweight plastic. I wear glasses. Do you? Microscope. A microscope is a tool that doctors and scientists use to look at very small things. Now, the microscope makes these little things look big and easy to see. Have you ever looked through a microscope before? Head. Inside your head is one of the most important parts of your whole entire body, your brain. Now, on the top of your head is your hair, and on the front of your head is your face, which consists of your mouth, your nose, and your 2 eyes that you use to see. Now, tell me something. What do you see when you look in a mirror? Shoulders. Your shoulders are at the top part of your body, just below your head and your neck. Now, your arms are connected to your shoulders. Shoulders are good for lots of things. They help you throw a ball far and climb up a rope. They also hold up your clothes, and they move around when you dance. Arm. Your arm starts at your shoulder, goes right past this muscle here, continues up around your elbow, and ends up right at your wrist. Chest. Your chest is the front part of your body between your stomach and your neck. Now, it's made of bones, muscles, and skin. Your chest covers and protects your heart and your lungs. Now, go ahead and put your hands over your heart. Can you feel your heart beating? Leg. Legs begin above your feet. They go up past your knees and end up at your hips. The legs are amazing for walking and running and jumping. Can you think of anything else that your legs are good for? Foot. Your foot is the part of your body that you walk on. Now, your feet are always at the ends of your legs. Feet are good for lots of things. You can kick a ball with them. You can pedal a bike with them. I mean, you couldn't even stand up without your feet. What other things are feet good for? Muscle. Now bend your arm up and make a very tight fist. See that bulge on the top of your arm? That's one of your muscles. Now you have them all over your entire body. Muscle is the part of your body that lets you move. Now it stretches and pulls things together. Now that stretching and pulling makes your arms and legs move. If you eat good, healthy food and get enough exercise, your muscles will be healthy and strong. Heart. Your heart is a very strong muscle inside your chest. It pumps blood all through your body. My doctor listens to my heart with a special tool called a stethoscope. Now she let me listen to my heart one time. It sounded like thump 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 thump. Have you ever heard your heart beating like that? Lungs. Lungs are the part of the body that breathe air in and out. Now, people and animals need new, fresh air all the time. Now, it makes our bodies work right. Most of the time, you don't even think about breathing. You just do it. Brain. Your brain is the part of your body you use to think. Now, it's inside your head, and it lets you learn new things and remember people and places. It also lets you draw and paint and have new ideas, too. Now, without your brain, you couldn't move around, you couldn't smell things, you couldn't taste anything. I mean, you can't feel or see your brain, but it is always inside your head, and it's always working hard for you. Stomach. Your stomach is the part of your body that digests food. That means it breaks down the food so that your body can use it. Have you ever had a stomach ache? A stomach ache happens when you eat some food that your stomach can't break down easily. Now, eat only good foods and not so much at one time. That way, you're never going to get a stomach ache. Skeleton. All these bones look like something you'd see on Halloween, right? But this is nothing to be afraid of. It's just a skeleton. A skeleton is all the bones inside a body. Now, bones are underneath skin and muscle. Your bones help give your body its shape and its strength. You and I have skeletons inside us. So do all the other people in the world.
Where do we live? I love to make things. I build models of all the things I see in the world, like buildings and houses. Where do you live? I bet you can find it here. Newspaper. A newspaper is big sheets of thin paper with words and pictures printed on them. A newspaper tells you what's been happening in your town and around the world. It has advertisements in it too. They tell you about things stores have for sale. You know, you can learn a lot from a newspaper. This part of my city is called downtown. Museum. A museum is a place that's full of great things to see. Some museums have bones of animals that lived long ago, like dinosaurs. Other museums have beautiful paintings and statues. In science museums, you can see what's inside your body or look at stars and planets. Museums can be very fun places. Bank. A bank is a place to keep money safe. It can be a little piggy bank or a whole big bank building. You can take your money out of the bank whenever you want to. Banks loan money to people too. People borrow the money so that they can buy expensive things, like homes and cars. Office. An office is a place where people work. Most offices have desks, telephones, and computers in them. People do all different kinds of jobs in offices. They talk on phones, have meetings, and write reports. Do you know someone who works in an office? Restaurant. A restaurant is a place where you can buy food and eat it. Sometimes we go to a restaurant for pizza. We sit at a big table and order our food. After a little while, the waiter or waitress brings us a hot, steaming pizza. Mmm. Hospital. A hospital is a place where sick and hurt people go. Doctors and nurses there help them get well. Sometimes a person has to stay in a hospital for a week or more. They rest and take medicine. Sometimes they have to have an operation to make them better. You finished. These are the things that are downtown.
Vacuum. Do you have a vacuum cleaner at your house? A vacuum is the kind of tool that cleans dirt off the floors and furniture. It has a strong motor inside it that pulls in the dirt. The dirt gets caught in a big bag inside the vacuum cleaner. The motor in the vacuum cleaner makes a lot of noise, and it really scares my dog every time we use it. Clothes. What are you wearing today? A shirt, shorts, bright blue socks? Well, whatever you're wearing clothes. Clothes are the things that people wear. Most clothing is made out of cloth, like cotton and wool. Telephone. A telephone is a tool for talking to someone. The other person can be in the next building or the other side of the world. People use phones to call friends and to make doctor appointments. They use the phones at work and at home. We used the phone to order pizza last night. Phones sure are useful things. Mirror. A mirror is a piece of glass that you can see yourself in. The back of the glass is painted with shiny paint. All the light that hits this shiny paint bounces off, comes right back to whatever's in front of the mirror. That's why we can see ourselves. We look in our mirror to fix our hair and to make sure our clothes look just right. How do I look?
What do we create? I could spend all day here, painting, drawing, and learning about music. Wow! Michelangelo. Michelangelo was a great, great artist who lived about 500 years ago. He painted wonderful pictures and carved beautiful statues. Most of the things he made were religious. That means they showed holy people and holy places. His most famous painting covers the whole ceiling of a church. Piano. A piano is a musical instrument. It has white and black keys that you push down. Each key is connected to little hammers inside the piano. The hammers hit metal strings, and the strings vibrate. That means they move back and forth very, very fast. Listen to the piano. Guitar. A guitar is a musical instrument with strings. You run your fingers over the strings to make music. My uncle plays the guitar really well. He plays and we sing along with the music. Do you know anyone who plays a guitar?
Ride around, little doggies, ride around them slow.
Vincent van Gogh. Vincent van Gogh was a great painter. It's sad, but no one knew he was great until after he died. He had a hard life. He couldn't find a job, and he thought no one liked him. He started painting to show how sad he felt. Leonardo da Vinci. Leonardo da Vinci was one of the greatest painters of all time. He painted beautiful pictures of people. His most famous painting is of a lady named Mona Lisa. She has a funny little smile on her face. He didn't just paint, but he invented things too. He designed a flying machine and hundreds of other things. Pablo Picasso. Pablo Picasso was a famous modern painter. He started painting when he was 14 years old. Many of his paintings show weird-looking animals and people. William Shakespeare. William Shakespeare was the greatest playwright of all times. He wrote his plays in England about 350 years ago. He wrote 37 different plays. Some are happy, some are very sad, and many are very funny. People today still love Shakespeare's plays. Drum. A drum is a musical instrument. Most drums are round. They have a piece of special cloth pulled very tightly over the top. When you hit the tight cloth, it makes a sound. Some drums make a deep pounding sound. I like to play the drums. Do you? Horn. A horn is a kind of musical instrument that you blow air into. The air goes through the horn and makes music. Most horns are made of twisted metal. Different kinds of twists make different kinds of sounds. My favorite kind of horn is a tuba. It's really big and it makes a deep sound. Have you ever heard a tuba play? Johann Sebastian Bach. Johann Sebastian Bach was a great composer. He lived about 300 years ago. He was a very religious man. He wrote his music for people to listen to and sing in church. He wanted it to help people feel close to God. A lot of people like Bach's music. What do you think? Peter Tchaikovsky composed beautiful music. He lived in Russia about 100 years ago. His most famous works are ballets. A ballet is a story that's told with music and dance. At Christmas time, many people like to watch the Nutcracker Ballet. It's about a toy soldier that comes to life.
Tree. A tree is a kind of plant with a big, thick trunk. A trunk is made of wood and it's covered with bark. All trees have leaves and some have beautiful flowers too. Trees are great to have around. They make good homes for birds and squirrels. And they give us cool shade on hot, sunny days. Tree. A tree is a kind of plant with a...
How do we play and work? I know a few people who go to work each day, but I know a lot of people who play every day. Do you? See if you can find a person here who you know. Doctor. A doctor is a person who helps sick people get well. Most doctors listen to your heart, take your temperature, and ask what hurts. Then they decide what will make you feel better. Sometimes they give you medicine to take. Other times they give you a shot. Yuck. Soccer. Soccer is a game people play with two teams. Each team tries to get the ball into a net at one end of a long field. The tough part is, they have to do it with no hands. That's right. The only way a soccer player can move the ball is by kicking it or by bouncing it off a head or a shoulder. It's a good thing a soccer ball isn't too hard. Skiing. Skiing is sliding down snowy mountains with long boards on each foot. It sounds silly, but it's really fun. People get to the top of a mountain on a moving chair called a ski lift. Then they find a good spot and start sliding down. Sometimes they move very, very fast. Downhill skiing is really exciting. Basketball. Basketball is a game where you throw a ball into a basket. Does that sound easy? Well, the hard part is that there are 5 people on another team trying to stop you. You have to run and dodge and jump high to get the ball in the basket. Some basketball players can jump really high.
Okay.
Teacher. A teacher is a person who helps people learn. Good teachers work hard to make learning fun and interesting. They show students neat things and tell them what to study. They give out papers and other things to use. My teacher's name is Mr. Grant. He's nice and very smart. He's a very good teacher. Dentist. Have you ever had a sore tooth? Did you go to the dentist to make it better? A dentist is a person who takes care of teeth. My dentist checks my teeth and cleans them for me. Be sure to brush your teeth after every meal. That'll make your dentist very happy. Veterinarian. A veterinarian is a doctor who takes care of animals. Vet is a short word for veterinarian. Vets figure out why animals feel sick. Then they give them pills or shots to make them feel better. They put bandages on hurts, too. We took my dog to the vet last week. He was sick. The vet gave him some medicine and he's all better now. Football. Football is the kind of sport that two teams play. Each team tries to get a ball to its own end of a long field. The other team tries to stop them. When one team finally gets the ball to their end of the field, it's called a touchdown. The team that gets the most touchdowns wins the game. Tennis. Tennis is a game people play with a ball and a racket. A racket is a kind of paddle with the middle cut out. It has strings stretched all across the center. The players hit the ball back and forth over a net. They have to run real fast to get to the ball in time. When a player misses the ball, they lose a point. Tennis is a really fun game. Gymnastics. Gymnastics is a sport where people do fancy tricks and exercises on gym equipment. People who do gymnastics are called gymnasts. Some gymnasts walk, run, jump, and turn on a thin beam of wood. They have to be very careful because the wood is 3 or 4 feet off the ground. Other gymnasts swing between 2 thin high bars. Some others jump and swing on a big leather thing called a horse. Gymnastics gives you really strong muscles. Sign language interpreter. A sign language interpreter helps deaf people know what other people are saying. People who are deaf can't hear talking or other sounds. The interpreter listens to a person talking, and then she says the same thing again in silent sign language to the deaf person. Sign language makes the words with hands and arm movements. No sound is needed. This means I love you. Police officer. Police officers are people who protect us and make sure laws aren't broken. They try to stop bad people from stealing or hurting other people. They can help you if you're lost or afraid of something. You can always ask a police officer for help. Baseball. Like to play ball? If you do, you'll probably love baseball. It's a game that 2 teams play with a ball and a bat. A player on one team throws the ball to a batter on the other team. The batter tries to hit it so no one can catch it. I like to play baseball. It's a lot of fun. Nurse. A nurse is a person who takes care of sick people. Some nurses work in hospitals. Other nurses help people at their homes. When you feel sick, you can go to the school nurse's office. The nurse will probably take your temperature and let you lie down. Do you know other things nurses do to help you feel better?